Welcome to RPV City Talk. RPV City Talk is brought to you by the City of Rancho Palos Verdes to inform the community on recent city matters. RPV City Talk is a weekly show that features the RPV mayor, city council, or city employees.
Hello and thanks for joining us on City Talk. I'm Maria Serrao. We are here today at the Palos Verdes Interpretive Center to go one-on-one with our own city manager, Carolyn Lehr. So, Carolyn, let's start first of all with where you grew up before we get to how you came to Palos Verdes.
Well, I am a California girl. I grew up in Sacramento, born and raised in Sacramento.
Wow.
Went for a short while to Sac State.
Okay.
And then transferred to San Jose State. So, and then also after my husband and I got married, we really spent probably 20 or so years additionally in the Santa Clara County,
okay,
right during the time when the Silicon Valley was just in its development stage. So we saw all of that unfold. It was pretty exciting.
Now, did you meet in college or?
We did.
Okay.
We met as recreation leaders.
Okay.
He and I were, I was a playground leader and he was at a level higher than me. He was the teen leader.
Okay.
So I had the little kids that were a little bit unruly, and he had the teenagers that hung out at the drop-in center, so he had a bit more of a challenge. And the way that we actually really got together socially was when I called him to let him know that when I brought my playground kids over to his teen center to watch a movie, one of his kids stole a wallet out of my purse, and could he possibly help me find it?
Oh, wow.
So
that worked
pretty well.
It did work out pretty well.
And he fell for it.
Yeah.
Totally.
That always works.
So got it back.
There you go. Of course. Now, you had a family. You had a couple of kids.
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you work while you were a working mom, or?
You know, I did.
Okay.
When they were infants, I went right back to work very quickly, and it was interesting. The first time that I took off of work was about 4 years, and it was when we moved to Michigan.
Okay.
And we bought a house. Seemed like a good idea at the time. It turned out to be kind of like the Addams Family house.
Okay.
The money pit. It took me 4 years to renovate the house. It was a lot of fun. But I took those 4 years off, and it was while they were in high school.
Okay.
And it's kind of a backwards plan, but actually my husband and I look back on it as a pretty good idea for mom to be at home while they're in high school.
Absolutely.
Worked out well.
Now, you went from California then back to Michigan and then back to California. And did you go to Michigan for your husband's work, or?
We did.
Okay.
Actually, we were in New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
California to Chicago, back to California, and then to New Jersey when my husband took a position in technology with Bristol-Myers Squibb.
Wow.
And so we were there for a couple of years working in the Princeton area, living in the Princeton area. We had a horse farm. It was a lot of fun.
Wow.
A lot of work, but a lot of fun. And so then we were there for a couple of years, and then we moved to Detroit.
Okay.
The suburbs of Detroit, actually.
Wow.
Very lovely suburb in Michigan, when he took a position with General Motors.
Okay.
As a technology officer.
Okay, and then how did you get back here to Palos Verdes?
He was offered a position. He was contacted by the Walt Disney Company.
Okay.
And so that brought us back to, actually we set up a home in Pasadena.
Wow.
Because it was nice and convenient
Sure.
there. And as soon as we got all settled, I saw this job description.
Wow.
Job announcement, and so I decided I would apply, and I asked my husband, what are we going to do if I get this job in Rancho Palos Verdes? It's about 30 miles away.
Right.
And he said, don't worry about it, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You just get that job.
When you did.
So I did get the job, and so we moved.
Now, I know that a part of being a city manager is you have to be recommended for the job as well. Is that right? How does that work?
It's a pretty in-depth interview process. They certainly do at each of the jobs that I've had as city manager. They do an in-depth background check, of course, security and credit and all of that. But also they contact my folks that I supervised, other fellow city managers in the area, and most importantly, my past council members to see how I worked with the council and within the community. So it's a fairly lengthy process. Right. And I know that there were other very good candidates that I was competing with. So I had to do my homework, and that meant, unfortunately, I had to spend a lot of time here. I know, it's such a hardship. Talking to people, chit-chatting, you know, taking people to lunch and saying, tell me about the essence of this community so that I can be prepared. So I did spend a lot of time here and get to begin to understand what the issues were. And then the interview process was a 2 or 3 phase process. You know, we've talked about this before. Being a city manager is not really a male-female job, but there's not a lot of women. Is that tougher for you, being one of only a few women doing this kind of work, or what is that like for you? I'd love to tell you that it's tougher, but it's not. Okay, well, that's good. That's good. It's kind of more fun. Okay. You know, I was very surprised, I have to say, in Southern California, it's more unusual to find women city managers. Right. That caught me off guard. I came from Northern California, where there are more. The trend was more and more city managers, and in the Santa Clara County it was almost half. Wow. So here in this area there are only a couple of us, and but it doesn't bother me. I think I get along very well with my male counterparts. I enjoy their company, and I enjoy you know, hearing about their challenges and so on. So, I don't know. I guess I feel kind of special. That's nice. Well, you should. You are special, definitely. Talking about being a part of a city, you pretty much have to be an open book. Is that ever difficult? Privacy issues kind of probably are out the window for you. So many people know you and know about you. Yeah, I've kind of given up on the idea of being able to go to Ralph's supermarket without having done my hair, no makeup, a crummy t-shirt, and so on. Because that is exactly when I run into somebody from my Rotary Club or one of our prominent citizens who no doubt wants to talk to me about something. A complaint or an issue they have, and so yeah, I kind of am always on to a certain extent.